Born in the suburbs Paris feared. World champion at 19. He said no to 1 billion euros. And right now, he's 5 games away from becoming the greatest of all time. This is Kylian Mbappé, Bondy, northeast of Paris, a place the news only mentioned when something went wrong. December 20th, 1998. A boy is born to a football coach from Cameroon and a professional handball player of Algerian blood. Winners, both of them. Before you can even write your own name, you're sleeping in a bedroom covered in posters of Cristiano Ronaldo. Your father, Wilfried, coaches the local club, AS Bondy. So the pitch becomes your babysitter. The older kids don't want to pass to a 6-year-old until the 6-year-old takes the ball himself. By age 10, coaches from across Paris are driving into the neighborhood everyone else avoids, just to watch you play. One of them says a sentence that will follow you forever. In 30 years of coaching, I have never seen anything like this kid. A fortress where manufactures its legends. Zidane trained here. Henry trained here. Every year, thousands apply. 23 get in. You're one of them. And within months, you're the one everyone watches. The biggest clubs in Europe start calling. Chelsea flies you to London for a trial at 11. At 14, Real Madrid invites you to Spain, and the man showing you around the training ground is Zinedine Zidane himself. Most kids would sign anywhere, instantly. But your family plays a longer game. No shortcuts, no hype. The plan is simple. Become undeniable first. So you say no to Real Madrid. For now. Monaco, 2015. You're 16 years old, and on a December night, the coach calls your name. You step onto a first division pitch. 16 years, 347 days old. The youngest debut in the club's history. The record you just broke? It belonged to Thierry Henry. 3 months later, you break his youngest goalscorer record too. Then comes the season that changes everything. 26 goals. Monaco wins the French title over the richest club in the country, and you drag them to the Champions League semi-finals, running past grown men like they're training cones. Europe has a new obsession. 16 months ago, nobody knew your name. Now every giant on the continent is preparing an offer. Summer, 2017. Paris Saint-Germain has just spent 222 million on Neymar, the most expensive transfer in history. Then they call Monaco about you. The price? 180 million euros. For an 18-year-old. The world calls it insanity. The most expensive teenager in football history, a title that still stands today. The pressure would crush a normal kid. Every touch analyzed, every miss a headline. But here's what the world forgot. You're not carrying Paris on your shoulders. Paris documentary, it's a Paris documented pod. Paris what you do Paris. You're not Paris Humanet Goldsrose. You are Paris. The kid from Bondy, 20 minutes from the stadium. First season Ligue 1 champion, 21 goals. And whispers begin that the throne of Messi and Ronaldo might have an heir. Russia, 2018, the World Cup, round of 16, France versus Messi's Argentina. What happens next becomes legend. You pick up the ball in your own half and sprint 60 meters so fast the defenders look frozen. Penalty, then you score, twice. No teenager had scored 2 goals in a World Cup knockout match since Pelé, 1958. The comparison isn't hype anymore, it's arithmetic. In the final against Croatia, you strike from outside the box, the first teenager to score in a World Cup final since Pelé. Again, France wins 4-2. You are 19 years old, and you are a world champion. Pelé himself sends you a message, welcome to the club. The years that follow turn you into royalty. Goal after goal, title after title. You pass legends on the scoring charts like they're standing still. Until one day, you pass Cavani and become the greatest goal scorer in the history of Paris Saint-Germain. 6 league titles. A front 3 with Messi and Neymar that sells more shirts than some clubs sell tickets. But royalty has a curse. The one trophy Paris desperately wants, the Champions League, keeps slipping away. A final in 2020, lost by a single goal. Semifinals, quarterfinals, heartbreak with a golden frame. And somewhere in the back of your mind, a childhood poster is still whispering, real kings are crowned in white. Qatar, 2022. The World Cup final. France versus Argentina. Messi's last dance against your coronation. For 80 minutes, Argentina dominates. 2-0. The The world starts writing Messi's fairy tale ending. Then you decide the story isn't finished. 80th minute. Penalty. Goal. 97 seconds later. A volley so pure it belongs in a museum. 2-2. In extra time, Messi scores again, and again you answer. A hat trick. In a World Cup final. No one had done that since 1966. You finish the tournament as top scorer. And you lose. On penalties. The cruelest scoreline in football. That night, the whole planet learns your name. And you learn something more dangerous. You can carry a World Cup final. Alone. Summer 2023. A fax arrives from Saudi Arabia. Al Hilal offers Paris 300 million euros, the biggest transfer bid in the history of sport. Your personal package? Numbers so large the press just calls it the billion-euro deal. 1 year of your life. Enough money for 10 generations of your family. You say no. Because the kid from Bondy didn't dream of being rich. He dreamed of being immortal. 1 year later, you finally walk into the Santiago Bernabéu as a Real Madrid player. Free transfer. The poster on the bedroom wall come to life. First season in white. Top scorer in Europe. The crown your childhood promised you. Almost complete. Almost. Which brings us to this exact moment, July 2026. The World Cup is happening right now, and you are on fire. Captain of France, 7 goals in 5 games. You just became the highest scoring knockout player in World Cup history, a record that stood for almost a century. France has won every single match, and tomorrow night, in the quarterfinal, everything can end, or everything can begin. Because here's the truth nobody says out loud. If the kid from Bondy lifts this trophy, the debate is over. Not the best of his generation, the greatest of all time. Whatever happens in the next few days, the ending of this story hasn't been written yet, but it will be. Right here. Part 2 drops the moment this World Cup ends. Subscribe now, because you don't just want to hear this story, you want to say you watched it happen.